All right, for 2B here, so we're going to start the same way that we did for 2A. I'm going to look at the two reactants, and I'm going to assign charges. So calcium is in the second column. It always has a plus 2 charge. Each of those chlorides have a minus 1 charge. Sodium in the first column has a plus 1 charge. And then this is a polyatomic. OH minus is a polyatomic anion. Okay, I'm going to write the metals and their charges over here on the right. Again, I like to leave the metals in place and switch the anions. So calcium was with chloride. We're going to put it with hydroxide. Sodium was with hydroxide. We're going to put it with chloride. Now we're going to see if we need to fix any of the formulas. In this one, calcium's 2 plus, hydroxide's 1 minus. So I'm going to have to double the amount of hydroxides to get my charge to be neutral. So sodium plus, Cl minus, this one's good to go. Now I need to see if anything will precipitate here. So hydroxide salts, I go up here to the top, hydroxide salts are usually insoluble. Barium is an exception, but calcium is not an exception. Calcium's neither here nor here. So calcium hydroxide is insoluble, so it will precipitate out of the solution as a solid. Sodium salts are all soluble. Chloride salts are usually soluble. All sodium salts are soluble, so this one's very soluble. Now I need to make sure that the molecular equation here is balanced. So I have 2 hydroxides. So 2 hydroxides from here, 1 calcium, I have 2 chlorides here and only 1 over here, so 2, and then just to make sure that we've looked at those, so I have 1 calcium on each side, 2 chlorides on each side, 2 sodiums on each side, and 2 hydroxides on each side. So this is a properly balanced chemical equation now. Now I'm going to go in, anything that's written as aqueous, I'm going to write it as separate ions. So calcium 2 plus, aqueous, plus 2 Cl minus aqueous. Okay, Cl2 is 2 Cl minuses, 2 sodiums, which are aqueous, and 2 hydroxides, which are aqueous. Now the calcium hydroxide is a solid. Calcium hydroxide solid, and I write it as such. It's not dissolved in the solution anymore. It's sitting at the bottom of the flask or bottom of the beaker as a solid. 2 sodiums are still dissolved, and 2 chlorides are still dissolved. All right, so what shows up on both sides of the arrow? The 2 chlorides and the 2 sodiums. And so my 2 chlorides cancel 2 chlorides, 2 chloride reactants and 2 chloride products, 2 sodium reactants, 2 sodium products. And so the real business going on in the flask is calcium aqueous getting together with 2 hydroxides, which are aqueous, to form calcium hydroxide solid. Okay, so it's calcium cations getting together with hydroxide anions to precipitate out of solution as calcium hydroxide.